Over the last few weeks, I've left Kirsty at home in order to help intrepid Brits make the move of their lives 10,000 miles across the globe. We've been to Melbourne, Adelaide, Canberra and the Central Coast. But tonight, it's the ultimate slice of Aussie paradise. Yes, I'm in Queensland's Gold Coast, home to the rich, the famous and more than 10 million tourists a year. It's also going to be home to the Hale family, and while they may seem easy to please...
Whoa!
Wow.
I've got all goosebumpy, actually.
Really?
Yeah.
They keep expanding their search for houses that are bigger, better and out of their price range, making my job difficult to say the least.
It needs to be probably twice the size.
Okay.
Maybe just a bit too small.
Still too small.
I'll also tell you why, if you've got the skills, Australia could be the best move you've ever made.
Sometimes I go and play golf, have a swim, go to the beach, and then work in the afternoon or when it rains.
Are you for real? Do you genuinely do all that?
I'll thoroughly explore the housing market and I'll even take a trip down memory lane.
20 years ago, I had the best year of my life here on the Gold Coast, teaching sport in a school. Not much has changed.
I'll meet a British couple who say the secret of their success is using the right chip fat.
Yeah, we bought British fish and chips down under.
So stay tuned for the next chapter in my ultimate guide to upping sticks and moving to a land down under.
Welcome to Australia.
It's no secret that I absolutely love Australia. I've been coming here for 20 years. I even married an Aussie. And thanks to our dream of buying a second home down under, I know the property market inside out. And now I'm putting that knowledge to good use in one of Australia's most expensive markets.
I'm in Queensland's glamorous Gold Coast with a whopping $1.2 million budget to find the perfect pad for the Hale family.
While Tony Hale may look relaxed now, a year ago he was the owner of a communications business in Grimsby, managing up to 120 people. He was also an absolute workaholic and had little time left for his wife Nikki, let alone his kids Chloe and Jamie.
Well, the company I owned worked 7 days a week, which meant that I always had staff working, which meant my phone was always on. So I'd regularly leave the house at 6 a.m, not get back till 8, 9 o'clock at night, and then I'd be taking phone calls till 9, 10, 11 o'clock at night.
Our life in the UK was pretty sort of lonely, really, because Tony was always working, and we did live to work, and that was it.
Something had to give. Otherwise, this family was about to self-destruct. Fortunately, a holiday on the Gold Coast 2 years ago changed everything, inspiring Tony and Nikki to take the radical step of moving their family down under.
I've just fell into the Gold Coast lifestyle of just enjoying the sunshine, relaxing, socialising. Which way, Captain?
Which way, left or right?
In fact, the Hales have gone from one extreme to the other. Following the successful sale of their business and their 6-bedroom home, Tony's taken the last 12 months off and spent every spare minute with his family.
There is no comparison to our life in the UK. It's completely opposite end of the scale. We are a family, we spend time together, we do stuff outside.
And after spending so much time together on a holiday, we actually already still like each other, which is a bonus.
Yeah, we're getting to know each other as well after 15 years.
But having turned their backs on the rat race, now it's time to build a new, hopefully more relaxed life here on the coast. And that means moving out of their rental property in the appropriately named Runaway Bay and buying a family home.
It's like a new beginning. It'd be nice to have our own base to come back to, somewhere to call home.
With a budget of $1.2 million, that's £750,000, the Hales can afford a whole lot of lifestyle and still be mortgage-free.
Hey, there's a little man. Are you Jamie?
Yeah.
Hi, Jamie, I'm Phil.
They've already started their search for a dream home, but haven't had any luck so far, which is where I come in.
Tell me, what was life like for you guys back in the UK?
It was just full on, 24/7, and then since we've got here, absolutely fabulous.
What's he been like to live with?
It's shocked me, to be honest with you. It's shocked me how relaxed he's been.
Yeah.
Because I always thought there's no way Tony's ever going to get past that work mentality.
Do you think changing countries changes you? I know you had busy and successful lives back in Britain, and the chances are you'll try and do the same here, and that means you'll be busy. isn't it?
The beauty of it is when we're not doing that work, when we have got the family time and the quality time, we've got this.
Yeah.
And that alone is a serious tick in the box and an achievement, and that's not going to go away.
It's like the balance is right.
Okay. Let's talk about the search for a home, because it is a new chapter and you do need to get settled. What are the priorities to finding a house?
Plenty of room for the kids to play, a nice entertaining area, a nice outdoor area, and just to make it our home, really.
It doesn't sound very complicated.
It's not.
I don't believe you. It can't be that easy.
It is.
These things are never straightforward.
What's definitely not straightforward is money, as the Hales can't decide whether or not to spend every penny they have or keep some of their nest egg, meaning there'd be no immediate pressure for Tony to go back to work.
Let's make a start. I'm going to try and show you a few different options, different sizes, different budgets, but we've got quite a lot to get through.
So while we have a maximum budget of 1.2 million, there's certainly no pressure to spend the lot. Mind you, property on the Gold Coast can cost a small fortune, and this is quite a wish list. Tony and Nikki want open plan living, a minimum of 4 bedrooms, plus study, a swimming pool, and above all, they want to live in a good area. Just as well, I love a challenge.
Tony's a businessman and he's looking for a good deal. There's plenty to choose from on the market at the moment. I just have to hope that, having moved his family all the way out to Australia, that money doesn't become the stumbling block. Because any house that gets the family happy and settled quickly is surely going to be a good investment.
While Queensland is known as the Sunshine State, in reality its weather is the stuff of extremes. The further north you go, the more tropical it gets. And yes, that also means rain. But even down south, the floods in Brisbane demonstrate that paradise can be far from perfect. But go to Queensland's southernmost point and you'll find the Gold Coast, where it really is tempting to use the words perfect and weather in the same sentence. Surfers' Paradise has transformed itself into one of the country's fastest growing cities. There are now over 500,000 bronze Aussies living on the Gold Coast, no doubt thanks to its 35 miles of beach. But should you wish to drag yourself away from the surf, you'll also discover around 100,000 hectares of nature reserve, 500 restaurants, 40 golf courses and 6 major theme parks, making it the perfect place for the Hale family of Grimsby to have a brand new start.
Right, bye guys.
See you later.
See you soon.
Though rather than live right on the beach, their priority is being within a 20-minute drive of Chloe's school. So that makes Arundel the epicentre of our search, which is why I'm kicking things off in the nearby suburb of Pacific Pines. It's perfect in terms of location, it's great for a family, and the price tag will allow Tony to keep much of his nest egg still in the bank.
Pacific Pines is quite a sprawling suburb. This is the newest part of it. This is all about 3 years old. And that is what we're coming to see. First thoughts?
I like the modern lines and how sharp it is.
Yeah.
And the black windows, yeah, I really like it.
Come on in and see what you think inside.
Well, considering this place is almost $500,000 under their maximum budget, I was hoping for a little more enthusiasm than that. But just wait until they walk through the front door. This house offers 2 family living areas, a home cinema, 4 bedrooms, 4 bathrooms and a lap pool. Yes, this impressive property offers everything Tony and Nikki asked for. And best of all, it's on the market for offers over $765,000 or £477,000.
Oh, wow.
I really like how modern and all sharp and clean
the
it
kitchen
looks.
looks lovely.
Yeah.
It's a pretty swanky pad. The reason I wanted to start us here was simply because it's the safe bet. It could do very nicely for a few years.
First impressions are nice, aren't they?
The outside area here is undercover, so it's shaded, and the lap pool.
It's quite a big lap pool, actually.
I think it looks very smart, but I don't know how practical it'd be for a family.
I agree.
It looks more like something to look at than something to actually use.
Maybe when the children were bigger.
When there's no children.
They've left home.
Hang on, considering the price, surely a lap pool's a small compromise to make.
And the master. Big walk-in wardrobe, very sexy, ensuite.
I like all the colours.
How gorgeous is that?
The house itself is too small, but I like the way it's all decorated and designed. There's nothing to do.
OK, they want more space, fair enough, but that means spending more money.
What's going through your minds?
I really like the design and the decoration, which means that there's no work to do to move in. But it's probably half the size of the kind of house that we want to live in as a home.
See, this is one of the difficulties that we've had because we're looking from two different angles, from two different views, sitting on the money or the dream home.
It is extremely difficult. So the quicker we can kind of tidy up that decision, the easier it would be.
At this point, Tony and Nikki are saying let's spend a little bit more. Not exactly the definitive decision I was hoping for, but fortunately I'm prepared for all eventualities.
Wait until they see what I've got lined up next.
Coming up, my return to the Gold Coast boarding school I worked at more than 20 years ago.
Not much has changed.
And as for the Hales, we're spending a lot more money.
Whoa!
We're getting a lot more space.
I haven't seen anything I don't like yet.
But is it enough to make Tony happy?
The house is getting towards the kind of thing we're looking for.
Getting towards.
And they said this was going to be easy. I'm in a land down under, giving you the ultimate guide to rebooting your life. I'm on the Gold Coast, helping the Hales to find a brand new family home. Fortunately, it's an area I know plenty about, as I first touched down here more than 20 years ago. Yes, believe it or not, my first job, my first experience of Oz was as a sports teacher at a boys' boarding school, just 5 minutes from Surfer's Paradise. So, seeing as I'm in the neighbourhood...
This afternoon I'm going to go back, have a look around the school, see what I remember of it. So I'm really looking forward to it. It'll be like a massive trip down memory lane for me.
And there she blows, the location of Mr. Spencer, the formative years.
The Southport School, TSS.
This hallowed institution was not only where I worked, it was also where I lived, lured by the promise of sun and surf.
This is where I first fell in love with Australia 20 years ago. We had the time of our lives. There was a bunch of us doing the same job. We were called renters, as in renter-poms. We were paid $125 a week and full board and lodging. And we just had a ball.
And while there's been a few changes over the last 2 decades, I'm hoping that my old lodgings are still standing.
This is a boys' boarding house called Biddle. And I used to patrol the corridors and make sure there was no misbehaviour. Unfortunately, there was a fair bit of misbehaviour from yours truly. I lived up here. That was my mate Piers Neal's room. There was a big Aussie bloke who lived in the middle called Bruce. And that was me. That was my room for a year in 1989.
And it seems great minds think alike.
Not much has changed. You know, when you've got great memories of somewhere and many years have gone past and you don't know if it's still going to be the same, so it's actually really lovely to go up there and still find that room full of empty beer bottles. So whatever renter-poms have been here this year, they've had just as good a time as we ever had. Superb. I loved it here.
Today, teaching is still a career that could be your ticket to a life down under. But the Aussies are also looking for our expertise in some unexpected areas, everything from cartographers to bricklayers. But when it comes to industries which rely heavily on export, they want our skills and our knowledge of the European market, which they're keen to take a bite of. So if you're an engineer, a designer, or even a boat builder, you could be very much in demand.
Aussies love their boats, and there's big opportunities out here for anybody involved in making them. I've no idea what's involved, but I've come to meet a Brit who employs quite a few other Brits in making this type of thing.
His name is Terry Vine, a boat builder who left Plymouth for Oz nearly 20 years ago.
I've always had a dream of moving to Australia, and then in 1991, just took the gamble, my wife and I.
And now Australia's home for good?
Oh, yeah. Well, 19 years later, yeah.
And it looks like business is booming. You're building a few boats.
Without a doubt, Australia's marine industry offers big opportunities. It's worth more than £3 billion and employs almost 30,000 people. But it's here in Queensland where things really motor. After all, in the Sunshine State, there are more than 230,000 recreational boats.
Is the boat building market better here or in Britain?
Australia being a big country, we've only got a very small population, so the market's very small. If you want to really get into big production, you have to look at overseas.
Terry and his team are currently working on a $2.4 million catamaran, which from design through to production will take about 12,000 hours. But if they get it right, could mean big business in Europe. Which is why 4 members of his team are Brits, 2 boat builders, 1 engineer and 1 boat designer, whose name is Steve Ford.
I was headhunted from a high-profile boat company in the South Coast, and now I'm working as a freelance designer.
And why do you think you were headhunted? Surely there are boat designers in Australia as well as...
Yeah, the Australian boats were trying to break into the European market, and they wanted someone who knew more about the European style of boats, and then they could introduce that into their fleet.
So that's been your challenge coming over here?
Yeah, bringing a bit of European flavour to the Australian designs.
A third of Australia's marine industry workers are based here in Queensland. That's 11,000 people. And while the average wage is only moderately higher here in Oz, £31,000 versus 27 in the UK, you can get a lot more if employed by a big company. But as for the hours, they're flexible, almost verging on the ridiculous.
So actually you could say, right, it's a nice day, I'll go fishing for the morning, but I'll work the evening.
Yeah, sometimes I go and play golf, have a swim, go to the beach, and then work in the afternoon or when it rains. It's fantastic.
You know, everybody I meet always tells me the same kind of stuff that you just said. Are you for real? Do you genuinely do all that?
Yeah, that's pretty much what it is, yeah. Obviously, the work's difficult, and finding the work is also hard, but once you get some stability in your life, it's fantastic.
It's hard not to be a bit jealous, but originally, Steve was one of the 10,000 Brits who enter Australia every year on an employer-sponsored visa. It's one of the quickest ways to get a visa, but you must have a solid job offer, and your employer has to show that there isn't an Aussie who could fill the position. If you'd like to know more about working in Australia, log on to our website at channel4.com/4homes. As for our house hunters, Tony and Nikki Hale, despite preferring to keep a chunk of their $1.2 million budget in the bank, they've rejected this property outright, insisting on something twice the size, which means we need to spend a lot more money. Fortunately, I'm nothing if not flexible, and have found them a house that's even more impressive in Arundel, which is at the very centre of our search area.
The house we're going to look at is just round the corner here.
And only a 5-minute drive from Chloe's school. I'm sure Nikki will love it, but will it meet Tony's extremely high standards?
Am I right thinking you've seen that house?
Yeah, I've been around that one.
Nikki's been there, but I refused to go because I just didn't like it, I just didn't feel it.
The inside was lovely, but Tony doesn't like the shared driveway.
So I stayed in the car
So
with
he
a
wouldn't even look.
Attractive.
Yeah, but the inside was lovely. They'd done it out really nice.
Bet it's not as nice as this.
Aha.
Come on.
To coin a phrase, this house is a little ripper. It's a unique design, boasts 4 bedrooms, a home cinema, and some rather impressive open-plan living, which connects seamlessly with the great outdoors. Not to mention the family-sized swimming pool. But don't worry, I haven't gone completely mad with Tony and Nikki's life savings. The house is on the market for offers over $900,000. That's £560,000.
I think the finish is absolutely fantastic.
Very nice.
Wow.
That's the cinema room. A vast one. And it's backed up by plenty more space back here. What do you think of this?
Oh, wow.
Ooh.
Entertaining space beyond your wildest dreams.
That's lovely.
So another cinema room, family room, rumpus room with the biggest bar.
Wow, lovely. Oh,
That's great. Another wow, definitely.
Brilliant.
Pretty cool, isn't it?
And that is perfect with the opening windows over into the outside area.
Wow, lovely.
Really, really like that.
It's such an entertaining house. Here I'm sat on the bar stool.
Even though it's tempting to make a cheeky gin and tonic, there's much, much more to see. The pool and the adjoining golf course.
Look at that, so very small stagger.
Sunday lunch.
Yeah, absolutely, Sunday session.
And while Tony thinks about becoming a member, I'm taking his wife to the bedroom, if you know what I mean.
Master bedroom.
Ooh, wow. That's unusual.
Come and see what's behind it.
Wow, lovely. Oh. Wow.
You're getting good at that.
No, it is lovely. It's really nice.
Is it nice enough?
We're getting there.
Yeah.
I like the flow. I love the wood.
Yep.
I love the open.
What were we going through Tony's mind?
Maybe just a bit too small.
Still too small. In order to buy a much bigger house, you're
Yep.
going to spend more than this.
Yeah, hence the dilemma.
Yeah.
Well, I think this house is still a serious contender, and it could leave the Hales with almost £200,000 in the bank. But while Nikki seems to love the space, Tony's in two minds.
I really like that side
Yeah.
and I really dislike this side. So I like
Dislike or just not so keen?
dislike.
Oh.
So much for keeping some of their money in the bank. Looks like Tony's determined to spend the lot.
So what's it to be, guys? Intriguing?
It's a lovely property. This area is fantastic. The open plan is absolutely lovely.
Yeah, still too small.
Still too small.
There's only 3 very small bedrooms, and we need an office-type room stroke study. The 2 remaining bedrooms that are left are really small, so there's no room in there for the kids to have desks and the toys that they've obviously got. And there's only 1 bathroom then between the 3 bedrooms that are left.
Fine. I can deal with that, so long as you can. And you know what I mean by that, don't you?
That's right. Once again, Tony wants more, so we'll be spending every penny of that 1.2 million. But to deliver everything he wants and still be within reach of Chloe's school, there is a compromise to be made, and that's location. Don't get me wrong, it is a good one. Monterey Keys is a gorgeous spot, just 20 minutes from the beach, but it's not an area Tony and Nikki are familiar with. Still, given their love of the water, I think it's perfect.
Which house do you hope it is, though?
The white one.
It is the white one. Good answer.
As well as all the must-haves, such as family-sized swimming pool, 4 large bedrooms, and of course the home cinema, I can now add to the mix 1 study, 3 generous living areas, and wait for it, there's also somewhere to park the boat. All of which is reflected in the price at just under $1.2 million, or £745,000. So hopefully this property finally ticks all the boxes, because it's almost every single penny of Tony and Nikki's budget.
Woo!
Much more like it.
Lovely.
Yeah,
Your sort of thing?
Yeah.
definitely, 100%. First impressions when you walk in, it's got that wow factor.
Good.
Yeah, definitely.
So it's sort of adults' room, I think. And all the living space again.
Oh, I like how this is all open
Wow.
with the nice views.
Wow, wow.
That's my word, wow. Yes, say well.
I think this is what people come to Australia for. This is what you can't have in Britain.
First impressions are exactly what we're looking for from a house perspective.
Well, they're saying all the right things, but I can't help thinking Tony's not quite convinced. Maybe a look round his backyard might just sway him. After all, check out the view.
But here's the gate at the end of the garden that would be the access to a pontoon should
Yep.
you put one in. If you fancy a boat, do you fancy?
Most definitely, yeah. Part of the plan.
A new one, brand new, 8 metres. We've had a quote of $14,000. But you don't have to get them brand new.
Yeah.
And you can see up and down. Most people have got them.
No, it's my favourite so far of the 3, most definitely.
But it would be, it's the most expensive.
But the question is it good enough for our Tony?
Yes, this is most definitely the type of house we want to look for. We don't know the vicinity and the locations. We need to understand really where is there to go to that we can walk to, shops, amenities.
The right house in your ideal location is out of budget.
Yeah.
So either we're looking for a slightly compromised house in the ideal location, or we're looking for the ideal house and a slightly compromised location.
Got to find the balance between the 2.
In other words, Tony wants the perfect house and the perfect location. But that could cost him $2 million, not 1. So either he needs to figure out how he's going to pay for it, or he could just accept everything he needs is right here.
Wow. I love how open it is. It all just seems so cliche word, but eerie.
Is there anything you've seen you don't like so far?
No.
Nothing at all?
No. I like it.
It looks like to me like it looks like it'd be quite hard work with the maintenance, painting it and all that sort of stuff.
Oh, come on. It's not as if you'd be painting the house yourself.
Like all this white looks like it's all... It just wants painting or whatever.
Sounds like he's making excuses. Because while Nikki's ready to move in, I think Tony's worried the location isn't quite exclusive enough.
You like?
I do like. I love this area. I love the pool area. It's still private because the houses are quite far away.
Anything you don't like or that worries you?
I haven't seen anything I don't like yet.
It sounds as though we've got thumbs up for the house.
Definitely on the house. The house is getting towards the kind of thing we're looking for.
Getting towards. That's a backtrack.
Now this is frustrating. Tony's backtracking again. And if he really does want an even bigger house, I have to ask, are they really willing to spend even more money? Coming up, I'll meet two Brummies conquering the world, or at least the Gold Coast, thanks to their state-of-the-art deep fat fryer.
And where did you get this from?
Darlaston, just outside Birmingham.
Came over in a big container.
And with permission to blow the budget, have I got the ultimate dream home?
Love it, love it, love it.
But is all this finally enough for you-know-who?
How much? Hang on.
Already.
I'm in Queensland's Gold Coast, exploring the property market and finding out what it takes to make a success of life out here from Brits who have been before.
Which is why I've come to meet Louise and Adrian Warner. Two Brummies who've brought a little bit of Britain to Oz. A success story that began 5 years ago when they emigrated to Queensland to give their boys, Charlie and Thomas, a better way of life. Because although it was never part of the plan, they ended up opening not one, but two successful businesses, each with a very British flavour. The first was Britain on the Bayside, where you can find everything from the UK's favourite sweets to football memorabilia.
We actually opened 2 days early because we started stacking the shelves and people started coming in going, I need to buy, I want this, I want that. And we nearly cleared out our first lot of stock within literally about 10 days.
Before long, the shop effectively became a drop-in centre for expat Brits looking for advice, friendship and a taste of home.
Well, a lot of the customers came in and said the one thing they really miss is British fish and chips, and they kept asking for it.
That's right. Spotting an obvious gap in the market, Louise and Adrian decided to open their very own British-style chippy. So let me introduce you to Chumney Warner's Fish and Chips, where even the cod's flown in from the North Atlantic.
So this is where it's all going on, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is where it all
Traditional
happens.
British cooked fish and chips.
Yeah, we brought British fish and chips down under.
Can't the Aussies do it themselves?
We've got beautiful cold water fish, and theirs is more of a warm water fish, so it is a very different kind of fish. So North Atlantic cod is just beautiful. And we also cater for the Scottish, so we've got the haggis and the black pudding, so it's quite a wide menu.
While Louise's background's in marketing, Adrian's a chef by trade. So in setting up their new business, they were meticulous about every detail, especially when it came to the art of deep frying.
I flew back to England, worked in a few chip shops, and here we are. We set up from there.
Where did you get this from?
Darlaston, just outside Birmingham, just off the M6.
Came over in a big container, and it was parked on the car park, and we snipped it open, and it was a big unveiling as we unloaded it.
Quite a special moment, I
Oh
suppose.
yes, I've kept the clip off the container.
And there have been plenty of special moments since. Just 5 months after opening, they were voted Best British Restaurant by the readers of the International Telegraph. Today, they sell an impressive 600 portions of fish and 1.5 tons of chips a week.
Seen that done before. Even I can toss a chip.
We must be doing something right because we get queues and it passes like 4 shops
You're
along.
kidding me.
So
are these Brits that are using it?
these are the Brits, and then they're telling their Australian friends, saying, "Okay, what's
You've got to go
this
and
big
try it."
hype about?" So then they come and they try it, and they go, "Actually, yeah, it's pretty good."
They're queuing out the door.
In fact, the formula's working so well, Louise and Adrian now employ 12 staff.
Is there nobody else doing what you're doing?
People have tried it, but in order to do it properly, you have to embrace the whole thing from start to finish.
Yeah. But that's what makes it successful.
Yeah, even our oil comes from the UK.
Brilliant. I bet your potatoes don't.
Adelaide.
Gotcha.
Naturally, I'll need to sample the menu, and being on the coast, I can think of nothing better than having fish and chips by the water.
There we go. Tell me about life outside of work.
Well, when we do get some spare time, obviously we've got the 2 boys, so we like to spend it with them. They've got bounds of energy, so the fact that we can be outside a lot more because 99% of the time it's got a blue sky, you can plan things and organise things and get out and about, and they're into their sports and their basketball and so on, so they love it.
It's obviously been a successful move and business is going very well. Did you think right place, right idea, and a lot of hard work and guts?
Yeah, you need... It is the dream, but you have to go out there and you have to earn the dream. You have to go and take it with both hands and grab it.
We worked very hard in the UK, but even over here, I mean, everyone says, oh, you know, new life in Australia, let's just chill out. But you've actually got to work really hard because it is a land of opportunity, but you've got to go out there and make that opportunity work for you. It won't come given to you on a plate. So there's been a lot of hours put into it.
The Australians love to see people have a go, don't they?
Yeah, you've got to give it a go. And I think quite a few people were sceptical about, oh, was it going to work, isn't it going to work? And it's only now they're coming out of the woodwork going, oh, we didn't think you were going to succeed. And I think, oh, really? Thanks.
I'm one of them. Because when I first heard about your business, I thought, well, who wants British fish and chips in wonderful Australia?
Yeah, believe you me.
Oh, there's a big market for it.
Well, they've proved their critics wrong, and now even have plans to franchise, which shows hard work down under really does have its rewards. If you'd like to do the same, you can apply for a provisional business skills visa, which gives you residence for 4 years, though you will need proven business experience and start-up costs. If granted, you must turn a profit within the first 2 years and employ at least 2 Australians. Only then can you apply for permanent residence. For more information on the visa system, log on to our website at channel4.com/4homes. Having abandoned the idea of keeping some of their savings in the bank, Tony and Nikki are now abandoning the budget as well. They want to see what even more money will bring to the table. But given Tony's track record of rejecting properties Nikki seems to like...
Really like that side,
Yeah.
and really dislike this side.
I need to pull out all the stops, which is why we've come to Parkwood. It's still within 20 minutes of Chloe's school, it's an up-and-coming area, and it offers the kind of house Tony's wanted all along. One that completely blows everyone away.
Righty-ho. Well, I'm pleased to see that you guys aren't wearing socks, because I'm about to blow them off.
Now, this property is high spec. We have 5 bedrooms, not 4, including one of the best master bedrooms I've ever seen. A cinema room, of course, masses of open-plan living, a designer kitchen, complete with a $4,000 coffee machine, and best of all, an outdoor entertaining area that's second to none, with room for several hundred of your closest friends. As for the pool, well, see for yourself. It even comes with a built-in spa.
I don't want to say it, but wow. This is by far the best thing you've shown us yet.
So stunning. I've got all goosebumpy, actually.
Have you?
Yeah.
The spec is absolutely exceptional.
I like it already.
I absolutely love it already. Love it, love it, love it.
How much? Hang on.
Already.
I hope you're sitting comfortably, because the asking price is $1.4 million. That's £873,000. But having been on the market for 5 months, I'm pretty sure there's a deal to be done. Seriously, even in the rain, what's not to love about this place?
There is entertaining areas and play areas everywhere. Here, there. There's a fully bespoke built playground down the bottom.
Cool.
It's
You've got the jacuzzi.
Infinity pool, is that what it's called?
Is that a remote control jacuzzi?
And a water feature.
Oh.
Yeah.
That is cool,
That
isn't
is
it?
absolutely
That's pretty cool.
excellent.
Does that turn the rain off as well?
Yeah, no, it's a shame about the rain, but look at the cover that we're on. Have you ever seen an outdoor area that's smarter than that?
Yeah, it's so lovely.
There's no water getting in at all anyway.
I think this, for me, this is my favourite position in the house.
Yeah.
But I haven't shown you my favourite room yet.
Wow.
This is, I think, one of the finest hotel suites.
Wow.
Have a wander in the wardrobe.
I'm having this side.
No, this is my side.
This is incredible. Unfortunately, they realise it.
Oh my God.
All right?
Yeah.
I still haven't got to my favourite bit.
Oh God, what's that
My
then?
favourite bit is in
Oh
here.
God. Oh my God, it's just stunning.
It's just like a
Oh
hotel.
my God. Double sinks.
You're easily pleased.
I love it.
No, you've done exceptional.
We could actually just move in and not do anything.
Yeah.
And that's very rare of me to even say that, because I always want to do something, decorate one room or two rooms or put my mark on it. But I love it as it is.
Oh, good. Well, help yourself. There's loads to find.
Yeah, brilliant, thanks.
Bedrooms, offices, cinemas.
I just need to look in that walk-in wardrobe again.
I think this is in the bag. Get in.
And as our discerning house hunters explore this incredible home, finally Tony, who up until now has been extremely hard to please, is getting excited.
That's a good size.
Wow.
This is another bedroom, isn't it? Or anything.
No, it's a cinema room.
Yeah.
But it could, potentially. If we can't pay the mortgage, we get some renters in.
But just when things were going so well, suddenly Nikki has an issue.
Oh, stagnant still water.
It turns out she has a deep, deep dread of creepy crawlies.
That means midges,
Bugs.
flies.
There seems to be a lot of activity in the top of the water as well.
But judging by Nikki's reaction,
Oh no.
I'm left wondering, could this be a deal breaker?
I can't think of anything that I don't like, apart from the still water next door, which we've just noticed. Still water means midges, flies, sandflies, various insects, creepy crawlies.
I'll find out what is going on though. I know that there's a concrete road that runs down to it.
Yeah.
We've had a lot of rain. It could be a slip off from floodwaters. It could be a pond.
Yeah.
I'll find out.
Need to find out.
Yeah.
I think the thing for me as well, looking at this, is well, I wanted something where I could sort of kick back and go, all the hard work in the UK is paid off, and this is definitely the kind of place that would do that, for sure.
And how do you feel about the money side of things? Because it's, well, certainly at its asking price, it's beyond.
Top end.
Yeah.
I couldn't care, to be honest. I love it.
I would have valued it at more than what it is, so I wouldn't feel. I'd be quite happy to pay what the asking price is for it.
I think it's value for money, definitely,
Yeah.
because it's got so many things in there that we would put in ourselves if we was to build.
Terrific. I'm delighted, as you clearly are as well. Take the night to think about it. We'll reconvene in the morning.
Yeah.
By which time you've done some sums, and hopefully you'll still be smiling.
Let's hope so.
Coming up, I'm taking in the view from the 68th floor, because if you want to live by the beach, then here on the Gold Coast, the only way is up. And it's crunch time for Nikki and Tony, as I ask the question, is this the house of their dreams?
So you're going to walk out of this house and that'll be that?
Or not? I'm on Australia's Gold Coast, looking to find the Hales from Grimsby, the ultimate family home. One with plenty of...
Wow.
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 But it hasn't been easy, thanks to Tony constantly wanting a bigger, better, more expensive house.
It needs to be probably twice the size.
OK.
Maybe just a bit too small.
And while they're obviously in search of a bit of bling, here there's plenty to choose from if you've got the money. Though if you want to live by the beach, then frankly the only way is up. Yes, I'm talking skyscrapers. The good news is the Gold Coast has more than 30 beaches to choose from, such as Mermaid Beach, Main Beach and Broad Beach, just to name a few. But it's hard to go past the most famous, the original, you might say.
I'm in surfer's paradise, so it'd be rude not to give it a go, wouldn't it?
Since the first hotel was built here almost 90 years ago, there's been an ongoing boom in both tourism and property. In fact, they've been building up since the 1960s, and in the last 5 years alone, 30 new ones have been completed, giving the coast an uninterrupted 20-mile stretch of high-rise living. The average two-bedroom apartment will set you back around £220,000, but obviously you can spend a whole lot more. If the sky's the limit, check out the Jade Building, one of the most luxurious and the most expensive in town. It's massive and it's got everything. The wraparound balcony offers a pool and panoramic view of the beach. All this could be yours if you got 3.4 million quid to spare. Though if you'd prefer to be a little closer to outer space, how about the 68th floor of this building? Here you can live like a king, enjoy a fabulous view in every direction, and go for a dip in what's said to be one of the highest rooftop pools in the whole of Australia. If these heady heights don't make you dizzy, then the price tag certainly will. It's a tad shy of £4 million. With their original budget of $1.2 million stretched, revised and ultimately completely abandoned, the Hales have fallen in love with this 5-bedroom house with masses of open-plan living. It's on the market for $1.4 million, or £873,000 to you and me.
What do you think?
Big enough for you, Jamie?
Do you like it?
Today, Tony and Nikki are back for a second look, and this time they've brought the kids, Chloe and Jamie, to see if they like what might just be their new home.
Where are you going in, mate?
Pool table goes there, doesn't it?
I think that's what we were thinking.
Do you reckon, Chloe?
Nice.
Chloe, the owners of the house built their own bespoke playground down the bottom.
Cool.
Go and have a look.
You haven't seen it, have you?
By moving our search to the up-and-coming area of Parkwood, I've finally been able to present the Hales with a house even Tony finds hard to fault.
How cool is this?
And on their first visit, they thought everything from the decor to the swimming pool was absolutely perfect. But then they noticed this, a man-made dam in the neighbouring plot. And suddenly, Nikki's fear of creepy crawlies crept in.
There was some concern about what was happening next door on the dam there. It's a man-made dam. The plot is for sale at the moment, with permission for a house to be put on it. In order to build a house, you'd have to fill in the dam.
Yeah.
So it's not going to be there forever.
If it's going to be filled in over the next year, say, then that's obviously solves the issue. We do have to just sort of think, we're in Australia, there is bugs, we just have to grin and bear it.
It was great to see you guys both blown away by the house. Yeah. Have you still got that feeling coming back the second time?
I have, actually, I have, and I didn't know how I was going to feel when I first walked through the door, but yeah, I have got the same sort of feelings.
Well, listen, you need to spend some time and picture your things and how you'd all live. Well, you'd knock about in here, wouldn't you? You'd lose each other.
Boo.
So Nikki's sold, and as for Tony, he still seems to love the house, but now he's had time to think, can you believe it, he's starting to have a few doubts.
What do you think now we've come back again?
Definitely like the house, I like everything about it, I like the way it's decorated, I like the quality of all the finishes, I'm just not sure on the area.
See, the pros and cons we've been doing that with, haven't we, all the way?
As much as all the big boxes are ticked, for me, all the stuff that we really, really want to make a home, there are so many things that, little problems, and little things that we don't like, and things that aren't on the wish list.
So despite upping the budget by $200,000, Tony's still struggling with the same old issue, the perfect house versus the perfect location.
One thing we are both completely in agreement in is it is the house for us. We absolutely love the house.
I can't help sensing a but, I really can't.
Unfortunately, there is a but, and that but is we just are not sold on the location. We've obviously been with our friends over the weekend and told them about this wonderful house that you found for us, and as soon as we say the area, every single person's put us off.
I agree with you, it's not 100% the best area. That's simply because there's a university and there's quite a lot of student digs around and there's a lot of investment property. So the properties are quite mixed, but these two streets have these big plots. And correct me if I'm wrong, but I think on the way through the search, size of rooms and size of plot was the stumbling block. If it's size you're after, reality is this is where you would need to be, or you need to be compromising on
budget.
Does that force your hand in terms of work and business and getting all busy and crazy again?
Yep.
Or secretly, is that what you want to do?
The plan on coming to the Gold Coast was to relax and was to kick back a little bit. But when you get to somewhere like this, you realise we lived in a very quiet, rural place where things was cheap. It's made me realise that by moving into closer to cities or to somewhere like this, that you've got to step up the game. You don't get what we had for the money that we wanted to spend. You've got to spend a lot more.
But in order to do that, in order to pull off a house like this in a better area, you're going to compromise your lifestyle to the nth degree because you'll need to have more money. Haven't you been through this once? That's why you left England.
But then if we've got the balance right, then it's not going to be an issue.
So you're going to walk out of this house and that'll be that? You're going to say goodbye to it?
I think for now, yes.
I could cry, because I love it. I love everything about it. But I must admit the same, the area, we're just not sold on the area.
If we were to meet for the first time right now, and I was to say, right, what are you looking for and how much are you going to spend, what would you say?
You'd probably have to spend more money.
How much?
Well, original budget was 1.2, and realistically now I think we're looking at probably more like 1.5.
And you're happy to do that?
Happy? No. Do we need to? I think so. That garden's not big enough properly.
They came out to Australia to spend more time together as a family and work less. But the reality is, if they don't go for this house and go for something that's even better and more expensive, they're going to spend less time together as a family and do more work.
But that's their decision and they're sticking to it. So for now, they're going to keep on looking. And without a doubt, Tony and Nikki will find something with plenty of wow factor, though it won't be cheap. So I just hope they finally get the balance right. Next week, I'm in Sydney, helping two workmates looking for the perfect pad.
It is doable in the price range. I'd seriously consider it.
But someone is almost impossible to please.
We have had a bit of a U-turn.
And I'll meet more successful expat Brits, doing everything from teaching yoga by the beach to giving lessons in the sky.
Flying! I'm flying, everybody! I did that!
This Sunday at 8, with thousands of pounds of fines and the members fighting. Is it all over before it's even begun for the People's Supermarket? Well, tonight at 10, the gamble's on for the big money in the £1 million drop live. And how do you treat an oozing leg ulcer that's so rare no one can even diagnose it? Embarrassing bodies. Next.